Antarctica has always been a place of mystery. Every year, scientists and researchers are making new discoveries, helping us to map out this barren wasteland. It's during these investigations that amateur researchers have also decided to jump in to try and find things, and this is usually by using things like Google Earth. One of the most recent discoveries that was made here is this one. The people who found the object said it's strange because it appears to be blacked out, leading them to say that the objects are quite small in terms of Antarctica, so someone must have requested that these be blurred out, and this led them to believe that they could be some type of military craft, or perhaps something that came crashing down in the area. Those who have seen these photographs have said that these objects likely belong to the military. However, it's been pointed out that because of the Antarctic Treaty, which came into effect on June the 23rd, 1961, this bans military activity in Antarctica, and military personnel and equipment may only be used for scientific research. Some of these objects that have been discovered appear to have what looks like skid marks behind them, and this has only fueled theories that something is going down here that they don't want people knowing about, with one theory being that there's a heavy military presence here, and this is where they're testing their latest technology, with users saying what better place to do this than somewhere like Antarctica, where nobody will be able to see what's going on. Scientists who have seen these photographs have said that the most likely answer is that they're just icebergs, further noting that the United States hasn't found anything strange buried in Antarctica, and any investigations going on here are purely scientific. But that hasn't stopped people from finding other strange objects. All around the world, we find evidence of massive pyramid structures that have often challenged our modern notion of the age of humanity and the technological and developmental might of our early civilizations. Given the fact that these great structures are often found in areas that predate existing archaeological beliefs in early human civilizations, discovering the location of these pyramids, in which humans have never actively inhabited, could then prove to be a smoking gun evidence of possible intervention. This is what led to enthusiasts looking towards the icy continent of Antarctica, and claiming that given the continent's recent discovery in completely uninhabitable terrain, to find such a structure amongst its icy lands would be more than enough evidence to prove such a theory. Using complex gathered research data and satellite imaging, the community worked day and night in the hopes of uncovering any evidence of these structures. Believed to be much larger than the pyramids at Giza, amateur researchers began noticing strange mountains that did not seem to match with the overall landscape of the region. Not only did these supposed large mountains not exist anywhere close to a mountain range, but the region in which it inhabited did not appear to even have the stresses or strains of the tectonic plates that could cause a potential mountain range in the first place. Not only this, but the size of the mountain in the area ended up displaying the proportions of a perfect pyramid, with 4 even sides, a symmetrical peak, and the same degree in slope gradient compared to that of the large pyramids at Giza. Images of these structures in high definition can also be found thanks to efforts made by researchers to locate the peaks of these mountains, in the attempts to disprove these satellite images, but only work to prove their symmetry and design in clearer imaging, leading to a number of legends surrounding the icy continent that speak of an advanced civilization before the existence of human civilization. Another recent discovery made in Antarctica is that of a 430,000-year-old meteor explosion. Scientists who study asteroids, particularly those that enter the Earth's atmosphere thousands of years ago, have a rough time tracking the sediment like breadcrumbs throughout the intervening millennia. Fortunately, any asteroid that crosses Antarctica likely left a discernible trace, as the environment has been untouched and preserved for many years. This was the case with an asteroid that plummeted to Earth 430,000 years ago, during the time that the first Neanderthals were beginning to expand across the globe. The asteroid never actually made contact with the surface of Antarctica, but instead exploded in the sky overhead in what's known as an airburst, leaving shrapnel, space rock and intense damages to the earth below. The location was lucky for two reasons. First, a similar explosion over a modern town would wipe the town off the map, and secondly, the isolated region of Antarctica meant that hundreds of thousands of years later, samples from this meteorite could be extracted and studied, which is exactly what researchers did, and what they found surprised them. The samples of the meteorite did not seem to resemble samples taken from elsewhere in the world, as they were bounded together in strange glob-like formations. These discoveries have allowed scientists to piece together what likely happened, even though the event was hundreds of thousands of years ago. Based on the samples taken, they believe that the asteroid could have been as large as 150 meters wide. Because of the strange formations of the samples, the meteor likely broke up relatively close to the ground, which allowed the fragments full of nickel and magnesium to react with the Arctic ice, and this in turn made them form odd shapes. Airbursts are even more damaging than asteroids that make contact with the Earth, because the explosion from the former can destroy a very large surface area, while destruction from the latter is usually limited to the crater that it creates. This airburst likely affected up to 100,000 square kilometers of Antarctica, with temperatures reaching up to 5,000 degrees Celsius. The fact that puzzle pieces like this from space events that occurred before humans even walked the Earth are able to be put together to tell a story of what happened is truly amazing, and shows just how far science has come. So what do you make of these discoveries? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.